Welcome to the deep dive. You can just feel it, can't you? The tension this final weekend is. It's just off the charts. We're not just talking about who's fastest anymore. This is about politics, it's about mind games, and it's about who cracks first.
Exactly. And our mission today is to cut through all that noise because the signals we're getting are, frankly, all over the place.
They're completely contradictory. You've got Lando Norris on camera saying the team would never let us do that, talking about team orders.
Right, he was very clear about that. But then everything we're hearing from inside the paddock suggests that's exactly what's happening. The pressure is on.
Okay, let's dive right into that because the intel we've got is pretty explosive. We are hearing about something being called the Mclaren wall.
Yeah, and to be clear, this isn't an official team statement from Woking.
No, this is inferred from multiple reports, but it points to some very specific special rules for this weekend only.
It does. This wall, as it's being called, is supposedly a complete ban on sharing critical data between Lando and Oscar.
What kind of data are we talking about here?
Everything. Setups, telemetry, lap overlays. The moment those FP2 simulations ended, the information flow was just cut off.
Wow. I mean, that's just brutal. They build their whole season on that shared learning model.
And now it's gone.
Ew.
The sources are framing it as a kind of Hunger Games scenario.
Yeah, to make them prove who is actually the best driver on their own without any help.
It's an incredible amount of pressure. And look, we do need to offer the required disclaimer here. This segment is part of our news coverage of recent F1 events. This wall stuff is based on source reports, not official team confirmation.
Understood. But even without the wall, the politics are very real. Zach Brown himself broke the silence. He actually came out and said it.
He did. He confirmed that, yes, Oscar Piastri will be asked to move over if it means getting Lando on the podium.
So the whole let them race thing it's officially dead for the finale.
It's gone. The reality of the championship trophy just trumped the philosophy. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so if we take that as the new reality, Piastri is effectively the #2 driver this weekend. Let's stack that political decision up against the hard data we saw in free practice 2. Because the numbers, they paint a very, very clear picture of who has the upper hand.
The numbers are, frankly, shocking. You've got Norris ending the section in P1, fantastic.
That was Piastri.
P11, I mean, that's a world away.
It is. In qualifying pace, the gap was 0.6 of a second. 0.6. But honestly, you can almost forget the quali pace for a second.
Because it's all about the long runs here, isn't it? Tire management is everything.
It's everything. And in the long runs, it was even worse.
How much worse?
Piastri was consistently 0.4 a lap slower than Lando. 0.4. And here's the really alarming part. He only managed to do 7 timed laps.
Heaven. That's not a long run. That's barely a warm-up.
Exactly. The tires were just gone. Either the setup was a complete mess or he just couldn't manage the degradation. Norris, meanwhile, did a full race stint. So wait a minute. If Piastri is struggling that much, like 0.4 off, and can't even keep the tires alive, why would you even need a Mclaren wall?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It doesn't make any sense. Why ban data sharing if the performance gap is already a canyon?
Well, it suggests one of two things. Either the decision was made before they saw just how bad the gap was, or
it's psychological.
Or it's psychological.
Right.
They're making absolutely sure he can't find some magic bullet in Lando's data that suddenly closes that gap. They're controlling every variable.
It's ruthless. But let's get specific. Where on the track did he lose all that time? Because 0.6 is a lot.
It was almost all in Sector 3.
And what's so tricky about Sector 3 at this circuit?
It's all about precision. It's a series of tight technical corners where you need perfect traction. You have to get the tires in that perfect cold window to get the car to rotate. It's about finesse, not horsepower.
And the times there. They were something else.
They were. Lando's best was a 29.04 Piastri, a 30.236.
That's over a second. In one sector.
Over a second. When you see a gap like that, you start to understand the team's thinking, don't you? They see that struggle, and they just can't risk him suddenly finding a solution and getting in the way.
It's all about risk mitigation at this point.
If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome to the deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe for more F1 content.
Okay, let's pivot. Because McLaren's internal drama is only one side of this coin. The real battle, the one for the title, is Norris versus Verstappen.
Yep.
The data shows Max is right in this fight, isn't he?
Oh, he's absolutely there. He was P2 in the session, and his long-run pace was, and I'm quoting here, very close to Norris. At times, he was even a little bit faster, so the raw speed is there.
But I sense a but coming.
But he showed a huge weakness that Lando didn't. his tires.
Ah, the Achilles heel for the Red Bull. What happened with the medium compound?
Is a real concern. On his long run, the medium tire just, it gave up around lap 13.
Lap 13, that's a catastrophe for a one-stop race. You need those tires to go double that, at least.
At least. If the tire's falling off a cliff that early, it puts a massive question mark over their whole race strategy.
And Norris, by contrast, was pretty consistent, right?
Rock solid. So if you're Max, you know you can't win a straight fight on pace in tire life. You need something else. You need chaos.
He needs help. He needs other cars to get involved.
He does. He desperately needs a Mercedes or a Ferrari to get between him and Lando. The problem for him is Mercedes' long-run pace was pretty disappointing. Russell was slow in quali trim, and their tire wear didn't look great.
So no one is stepping up to help him. In what's probably a straightforward one-stop race, Max has to create the chaos himself.
Which brings us to this high-stakes, high-tension strategy that our sources are talking about. They're calling it the anchor strategy.
The anchor strategy. That sounds ominous. Explain what that is.
Okay, so and it's a big if Verstappen gets the lead off the line, he has to do something completely counterintuitive. He has to intentionally slow down.
Throw the anchor out.
Exactly. He slows his pace, maybe by a couple of seconds a lap, and lets the entire field bunch up right behind him. He's sacrificing his own ultimate pace.
He becomes a mobile roadblock. Why? What's the end game there?
The goal isn't just to beat Lando. It's to make Lando lose as many points as possible. By slowing down, he drags the midfield cars, the Mercedes, maybe an Aston Martin, right back into the fight for the podium. He forces Norris to fight through traffic.
That is just, it's a ruthless tactical move. We saw something like this back in 2016, didn't we?
He did. It's a championship-winning tactic, but it is so risky. You slow down too much, and Norris just passes you.
So if he can't pull that off, he's relying on pure luck. What are the other chaos scenarios that could actually shake this race up?
There are really only two. The first is an early safety car, say lap 10 to 13. That would just destroy everyone's one-stop strategy and force them onto a much more complicated two-stop.
And the second?
A very late safety car. Think 2021. You get that new tire versus old tire shootout for the final few laps. But without one of those, this race is pretty linear. The math points to Norris based on his pace.
Which brings it all down to one place, doesn't it? Turn 1. The rundown is so short, the corner is so tight, it's a guaranteed pressure cooker.
And Max knows it. He has to go for it there. He's the one behind. He has to be the one to force an error.
But that's the paradox, isn't it? Even if Max is the aggressor, Norris has so much more to lose.
He has everything to lose. A double DNF is a disaster for Lando. It opens the door to all sorts of wild outcomes.
Like, hypothetically, if they both go out, Piastri, the guy who's 0.6 off the pace, could suddenly find himself finishing P2 and stealing the title. It's a long shot, but it's possible.
Which is why Verstappen will throw absolutely everything at turn 1. He has to. He's got that psychological edge. He has nothing to lose.
And he's got the nerves of steel. We saw it in 2021. He thrives in this kind of pressure.
He does. And then you look at Lando. He's got Max breathing down his neck. He's got this political wall inside his own team. He's got the weight of leading the championship. That's where mistakes happen.
He's driving for perfection, and Max is just driving for disruption.
It's the perfect storm.
Because.
So to wrap it all up, you have the political pressure cooker at McLaren. You have Lando's incredible pace. And then you have Verstappen, who just needs to light a match and watch it all burn.
And it all hangs on what happens inside that McLaren garage. Which brings us to our final thought. We have to leave you with this question as you get ready for the race.
Given everything we know, the wall. The team orders from Zach Brown. If, by some miracle, Oscar Piastri is fighting Lando for the win on Sunday, with Max sitting in P3, what does he do?
Does he really have it in him to ignore the team, to override all that psychological pressure and race for his own victory?
Or is that wall they've built around Lando just too high for him to climb?
We are going to find out on the track. This is set to be absolutely incredible. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Make sure you keep following the conversation this weekend. And don't forget to follow the deep dive on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll see you next time.